Hello everyone, this is Eloquin, and I am back playing EverQuest on the P99 server. I'm back on my Druid Lauren, and right now I am factioning. I'm in the Wakening land, and these are all Frost Giants, or Storm Giants, or some kind of Kael Giants, essentially. And there are a bunch of people. There's probably 12 people hanging around here, and everyone is factioning. Some of them might be in group, but I'm not sure. And to be honest, it just looks like a lot of people are just hanging out, doing the same thing. Everyone's kind of just got a few people tanking, a few people hitting them with different DDs and this, that, and the other thing. And it seems to be, basically what you want to do is hit everything with something, and then when it dies, you get faction. And the giants here, and if you go back that way, that's Kael. I'm probably saying that incorrectly, but anyway, that's the giants of Velius. And if you kill the giants of Velius, you get faction with the dragons of Velius. So, for instance, over this way is the where the port comes in for the Wakening lands, and there is a dragon that sits there normally, Wushi, who, if you do not have the faction, will kill you on sight. So that's why a lot of people come here to faction, because once you get in good with the dragons, you can move around, at least from this point on, in Velius a lot smoother. So yeah, everyone's kind of sitting here, and where did she go? Let's give her a chloroplast. So, recent news, after I hit 49, I spent some time porting to get a little bit of money, and I was able to make some purchases. I bought some golden Frady boots to kind of boost up my wisdom, and then just tonight I bought these Elder Spiritus fan braces. And the nice thing about that is they have a clicky on them, which I'm not going to be able to hit, so I'll just do this. He's going to die. Ah, missed that one. But, so yeah. Oh, somebody's got a couple of them coming in. Wow, that guy keeps running around. And, nice thing about them is they are a clicky of Drones of Doom, which is dot, maybe the last dot I had? To be honest, I'm not quite sure. And, it's nice because it's 0 mana cost, and so kind of what I've been doing is running around and giving the people that are tanking spikes, and then where I can, hitting them with hitting the different Frost Giants with the dot, and sitting back. I've been, since I'm here, have gotten clarity, and there was a druid that gave us protection of the glades, so I really haven't been having to worry about mana, and even if I do, I just kind of sit down and hang out for a little bit, and you know, before you know it, I'm back up to full, and then I can be a little bit more generous with the whatever I've been casting on people. But yeah, I have no clue how long this is going to take. And furthermore, this has just been crazy. When I first got here, there was like a bunch of druids just kind of sitting here. And then a bunch of people came in, and they seemed like they were looking for a group. And, you know, most people have looking for group tags up. But it doesn't seem to be that kind of a deal. It seems like everyone just comes and, you know, it's more like a raid than it is anything else that I've been part of, which is fun, because it's very different. That's why I kind of wanted to get this on video, because I'm sure that everyone, once you get up to this level, ends up doing this. And but if you aren't up to this level, it's probably something that no one's seen before. I do feel bad. A little bit before I started the recording, one of the, I think he was a warrior, bit it pretty hard. There's a couple of names that popped up, and I think that he just went and started tanking something, thinking that, oh, you know, it's just another frost giant, and it was a named, and it chewed him up pretty well. The only problem about not grouping is that it's nearly impossible to click on people. At first, like I said, there was a bunch of druids that were, at least one or two of them were trying to quad, but then there was a enchanter that was trying to charm, and it was super chaos, where this is kind of like, this is chaos, but there's just a bunch of people that are fighting, and then a bunch of people that are kind of just casting on it, and it all kind of evens out at the end of it. Oh man, like I said, impossible to click on people. That before was just chaos. I mean, they were taking these things all over the place, and just, it was craziness. But while that was going on, I kind of followed this wall on down, and ran into, there was one way down there, and I root rotted it and got experience, which makes me think that if I came here at a different time when it wasn't so busy and everyone wasn't factioning, it actually might be a pretty decent spot to get a little bit of XP. It would be an okay spot to quad if it wasn't for the fact that just everything's on top of everything else, and I don't know. I don't know if that would be a smart idea. Maybe if you could peel exactly 4 off and take them over that way, but then every once in a while a panther will get thrown in the mix, and the panthers hit really hard, and so I think I'm going to try to resist that temptation. But yeah, otherwise this is a lot of fun, but it is absolutely pure craziness, pure just, I mean, chaos, but it's a controlled chaos. Like I said, if as long as you hit everything once, click on you, you don't get the experience, but you get the faction, and that's what you're looking for. Now, I know, and at the end of the night here, which I'm probably going to start packing it in pretty quick, at the end of the night I know that there's a spot over there's an enchanter that enchanted something. I think. There's a dragon if you go down and follow this wall down. And you can run over to him invised, and then unclick your invis, and then kind of click on him and see what your faction looks like. And I'm probably going to do that at the end of the night just to kind of see where I am, and then re-invis myself and walk back and probably hang out here, or maybe I might get back, I don't know just yet, but yeah, basically I'm looking to become ally with the dragons, and then when I run over to Cobalt Scar, which I think I'm about ready to do, after I made that last video in Timorous Deep with those AVX, I think I got like one more good quad, and then the next one that I tried to pull ended up only being 3 because I couldn't even find enough to make 4. And then I went back the next day and it was just as bad. And so, I mean, I'm actually almost halfway through the level, but I don't know. Unless I go back there and I'm the only one in the zone again, I don't think I'm going to go back. I do have to say that I went and got my new spells, and the new AoE spell, Lightning Blast, is so nice. It's so nice. Which it should be. I mean, I think it's the last AoE that I get. I'm not positive about that, but I think it is, at least for a long while. And it really is nice. But as soon as I do my factioning, I'm going to run over to Cobalt Scar and start quadding wyverns. The best part about doing the factioning before you go is that there are drakes that hang out there, and the drakes, I think they're drakes. Anyway, the not wyverns that are hanging out on that little ledged place are KOS until you improve your dragon faction, and then they leave you alone, and then that way, and I believe, I'm going to have to check this out when I go there, but I believe when I go and I actually try to pull the wyverns, they will be basically like indifferent to me until I go and pull them, and then at that point they'll obviously not like me. So, you know, if there was a group of 3 or whatever, I'd have to harmony and then single snare them out. But as far as you know, running around, I wouldn't have to worry about them coming after me unless I have another one of them, because they are social. So unless I have another one of them engaged, I wouldn't have to worry about it. So that's obviously the reason that it's a good idea to do this before you run over there. Not a deal breaker. I mean, you can go over there, and as long as you're careful and watch your back, it's fine. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm sitting here, I'm doing this, not getting any experience. I have noticed that when I forage, every once in a while I'll get a small bit of vellum, and I really don't know if that's worth anything. I'm excited to actually go someplace and try to sell it and see if I do get any money for it. But yeah, that right there, Claws of Ashan, COV. That's the faction we're looking for, and I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are used to this, and it's actually calmed down quite a bit. But for a while there, I shouldn't say we, but the entrance of this zone pulled everything over here, and there was, 4 different mobs going at once, and a whole bunch of different people, and it was it was pretty cool. And I know that there are small groups, but I think a lot of them are just hanging out. I wonder if she got her so. I've been talking and haven't. Oh, there you go. Don't run too far away. So let's see. What else can I talk about? In other news, now that I'm 49, I'm hoping maybe sometime this week I'll get 50, which I realize is going to be another hell level. So I'm really hoping that quadding wyverns is going to go spectacularly well, and that that won't take forever. But yeah, once I get up to 50, I think the next kind of thing that I want to try to do is maybe see about getting into a guild. I have kind of shied away from that. Mostly because I don't know. I'm definitely not a role player, but I do kind of like the idea of my druid just being, this random soul that hangs out and, isn't really affiliated with anything. Like, I haven't given him a last name. Kind of that whole wandering motif. And so yeah, I've been approached by a couple of guilds. I've said this before, to be a part of it, their guild, and I'm always very tempted to do that, because I think that it would be fun to be a part of a guild. But I've kind of backed off because, it's one of those things where I'll have these periods where, how do I describe it? I'll get a little frustrated with the leveling process and how long it's taking, how, when I want to get into groups, I don't find groups. But that lasts like a day or two, and then things turn around, or I find something different to do that's, more fun, and, it stops being an issue. And so it always seems like, when that happens, I start thinking about joining a guild more, and then, as things get better, I kind of dropped the idea. But I think once I get past 50, I think that it's going to be something that I'm going to want to do. Some of the higher level stuff, I think that it's going to be tougher for me to advance my character without doing it. But yeah, I'm going to have to find a guild that lets me play when I want to play. You know, a lot of times I do run on when I'm doing other things, and I will sit and, you know, do things like porting, where I just kind of hang out, and then when somebody messages me, you know, I run them over someplace real quick and then run back, and then, you know, the whole rest of the time I'm doing something different. So yeah, I don't know. I need to find a guild that's not gonna mind that, you know, I play for 3 or 4 hours after 10 o'clock, and that's about it. Which I know that there are a lot of casual guilds that would probably be more than happy to accommodate my schedule, but yeah, I don't know. I need to do some homework and find the right place for Lauren to go. I know with my other characters, you know, Elaine's kind of at a standstill right now, but I think it'll be a lot easier for me to put her in a guild. And I know that I haven't released any of the videos yet, but with Bublin, also, you know, really easy to probably put him in any kind of a guild. But yeah, Lauren has really just been that, you know, he's the first character that I actually went and, you know, put a lot of time into, and for whatever reason, I have that feeling like I want the guild he gets into to be the only guild he gets into, and yeah. So, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. It's been especially rambly because I'm just sitting here casting random spells on things. I love this part of the game. Like, you know, how sometimes you'll... And I knew that this was gonna kind of be like this. I had watched other people faction here before, and I mean, I knew that it was gonna be like this, but even after that, once you come in and you actually, you know, start to do it, it's completely different, and it's just a lot of fun, and I don't know how to explain it. It's this is what I like about this game, is coming in doing this kind of stuff. And like this cleric just came in, and he's giving out reses. Ooh. Whoa. Let me just zone that guy, because that was a little too close. I can heal myself up and run back in. Sorry, I got distracted. One of the enchanters was asking me for a port, and which I'll be happy to do. once I'm all done. So yeah, I think I was finishing up the video. I got super distracted. There's a lot going on at the end there. Well, let's heal myself up here. Wow, it is windy outside. Yay, got more faction. Let's hit this guy with a dot. So yeah, oh, did that guy die? Oh, okay. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. That's always appreciated. If you have any comments, you know, usually I have some kind of question about how I could do this better, or what, you know, this, that, or the other thing, but yeah, this is really just me goofing around, you know, working on some factioning, hanging out. But yeah, if there's anything you want to say, oh, maybe if you want to give me some kind of a comment about which guild I should join, I'd love to hear that. If you want to know when these videos come out, consider subscribing. I've enjoyed seeing the number of subscribers slowly tick up. It's always fun. I love, you know, every time I release a video, watching everyone get those views in, and that's really nice. And I mean, really, it's just about sharing this game that I like, and I find fun, and I hope that you find it as fun. I hope that, you know, if anyone's watching this that hasn't played this game in, you know, 12, 13 years, or however long, finds it and decides, hey, maybe I'd like to play again, you know, that'd be nice. But yeah, until next time, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.